Today, on Be Something Wonderful, your point of power is always now to manifest your dream life in ideal reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, welcome back. Big video this morning. I want to talk about this client that says, Tom, I just feel like I keep creating the same pattern over and over again, that the same things happen. And he was talking about relationships where everything starts out really great, hot, and then it gets cold, and then she doesn't call, or he doesn't see her, or something comes up. Also, he believed that there's a pattern with money, that he's doing good, and then a bill comes up, and then he gets triggered. And then then other money issues pop up, and then he feels like he doesn't have enough money. All of this idea that there's patterns, and there's these reactions, and these triggers that are creating an unwanted reality over and over again. So I want to talk about this idea because here's what I said. I did a video on this probably about a year ago. Someone else that asked that question, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my life? Why do I keep reacting in the same way? Why do I get triggered? Why do I have these patterns that are keeping me away from my ideal life or my dream reality? And this question, remember, this question about what's wrong with me and what's wrong with my life creates that reality. I talked about this in another video. So when he asked that, we really hit that idea that there is no pattern, that your point of power is right now, that you create it all right now with what you decide to assume and believe. There's nothing from the past that's creating that except your belief that there's something from the past that creates a pattern or that creates these reactions or these triggers in your life, right? He says, I keep repeating the same pattern over again. I can't figure out the old assumptions that are creating it. Right? And as you go look for those assumptions, for sure you will find some that you believe are old assumptions or old patterns that are creating this, but you're creating them as you look for them. Do you see it? Of course that it will support it. Remember, you're a multidimensional being. And remember what we said yesterday and the day before. You're creating all of reality from the present moment. So you're going to create a past that supports your limiting assumptions, your limiting beliefs right now. I want to hit this, right? So forget about the old assumptions and beliefs are always new, and they're always created in the now moment. There are no such things as old assumptions and old beliefs. Everything's happening now, right? So trying to figure out what's creating a perceived pattern just creates the pattern. It creates and gives reality to the idea of a pattern. Right? All of this implies that you're at the mercy of past patterns and assumptions or an assumed past events that are out of your control. That there's some past messing up your life. Right? There is no pattern. There's no triggers or reactions other than what you create in the current moment. Right now. It's all created now. There is no past messing up your life. I really want to hit this today, right? This is what Seth from Jane Roberts says. We're going to talk a lot about Seth today because it's perfect. There was a video, I don't remember which channel it was on. It was on one of the channels, and it was about a while ago where I talked about this, but we're going to really hit it because we really unpacked it with this client yesterday, really moved him to his point of power. Where is it? Right now. He felt it, right? That everything is now, that there are no patterns. That there are no triggers that are waiting, something waiting to be triggered. There are no reactions waiting for you to react to it. Right? React with it. Right? The present is the point of power. You are not at the mercy of the past or of previous convictions unless you believe you are. Powerful statement by Seth through Jane Roberts. The present is the point of power. You are not at the mercy of the past, of triggers, of reactions, of patterns, of previous convictions unless you believe you are. In other words, past assumptions or patterns. Patterns, triggers, and reactions are the belief and assumption, hear this, that the past somehow creates and influences the present. That's only true if you believe it in the present moment. Do you see how you create it all? It ties in with these last 2 days of videos. Your beliefs and assumptions are not fixed or old or patterns, but rather they are new in every moment. The present is your point of power. We're going to hit it. So your entire life experience is being created in the present moment by what you are believing and assuming about yourself and the relationship and your relationship to the world. But not just your present life experience, but all life's experiences, right? All life experiences, all potential. It's all there. You're creating, remember, from this present moment, you're creating all your lives, all those experiences. You're affecting everything, right? You are a multidimensional infinite being. It can be no other way. And each one of you are only in the present moment. Yes, they're independent streams of consciousness. They're independent yous, but they're all connected to you. So you, remember, you have infinite probable presents, probable past, and probable futures, all being created, all being influenced, all being rearranged right now from this eternal moment of the present moment, right? From this internal portal of the present moment. All being rearranged, all being created, all being influenced from this eternal portal of the present moment. From what you are assuming and believing right now. So you determine what your past and future is going to be right now. You determine what that life's going to be. You're influencing it right now. You're influencing all your lives right now through this portal of the present. So to believe that you're tied to some past life, right? Whether it's a distant past or recent. Some of you are asking about past lives, like distant past lives. All these lives are happening right now. And you influence them by what you're thinking and assuming right now, right? So, Jane Roberts, your present beliefs are like the directions given to the entire personality. Remember, you're an entire multidimensional personality. Do you remember I showed these with the colors, right? You at the center, where you're focused now, all superimposed one over the other, with you having a certain focus or a certain vantage point or viewpoint from which you're seeing the world right now, right? They're given, so your present beliefs, your present assumptions are like directions given to the entire personality, simultaneously organizing and reorganizing past experiences according to your current concepts of reality. You're creating them now. The future, the probable future, is also being altered in the same way, both the past and future. You have probable infinite past, probable infinite futures, probable infinite present realities from that eternal present that you're influencing right now. So your present beliefs and assumptions are like directions given to all of those lives. Wow. Your present beliefs, law of assumption. And what I like is what Seth's saying here is that those present beliefs are your assumptions, the law of assumption. What are you assuming, right? Your entire personality, he's pointing to your I am, that multidimensional you, that higher you, that has all the superimposed identities or versions of you superimposed one over the other, out which you see the present, where you have a present focus, from which you have the present focus. And then you have the current concepts of reality, your current concepts of reality, or your self-concept and your relationship to the world or reality. He hits all three of these in that one quote. Do you see that? That's big. So trying to understand the present, your current life experience, from analyzing and digging up the past, old patterns, old assumptions, old dramas and traumas and things to be fixed or healed, only recreates it right now. Do you see it? When you think that what's wrong with me, what's wrong with my life, and you're trying to understand that your life here from analyzing the past, from digging up old patterns, you create them. You recreate the dramas and the traumas and the things that need to be healed. Instead, from the present moment, right, choose who you desire to be. That's why Jesus asked his disciples, who do you say I am? Right? Choose what you desire to assume and believe and imagine about yourself right now. And that creates, that changes, that rearranges all time, all probable realities, all probable pasts, all probable presents, all probable futures are based on your present beliefs and assumptions, concept of yourself in the world right now. All of it gets created through that eternal present moment of now, that portal from which all realities stream get created right now. That's powerful. Looking back makes no sense. The most powerful thing you can learn from the past is to focus on the present. This I think comes from Seth as well, but I love this. The most powerful thing you can learn from the past is to focus on the present moment. That eternal portal where through your assumptions and beliefs streams all realities, all probable past, all probable futures, all present realities. Who and what you desire to be and experience right now, focus on that. When you continually analyze, judge, and dig up your past, and we're talking about just one probable past out of infinite pasts, because you think there's only one. But you're an infinite being. You have infinite past, but you're focusing on 1.00001% of reality, of a past that doesn't even exist anymore. And you're judging it and analyzing it and digging up, looking for triggers, looking for patterns, looking for why you're reacting the way you are, looking for what's wrong with your life, what's wrong with me. Do you see it? To figure out what's wrong with you in your life in the present. One probable present out of the infinite present. So you're saying you're in your present life, but that's one present life out of an infinite probable present lives. All of those probable past, present, and futures exist in that portal, that eternal portal of now. You perpetuate and recreate the unwanted realities from which you are trying to escape over and over again. That's why. It's just because you keep thinking the same things and looking for things that to fix and heal and create, right? Focusing on 0.0001% of reality that is no longer your choice. That's what you're doing. Do you see it? Whether it's a probable past, probable present, probable future, it's less than 1% of what's going on, and you're perpetuating it and recreating it. Very powerful today. So, Jane Roberts, your present beliefs structure and memories. This quote, your present beliefs structure memories. Your present beliefs, what you're assuming and believing right now, structure or arrange your memories. They rearrange images and frames of reality. Your present assumptions, your present beliefs, what you're believing right now and assuming, they structure and restructure your memories or these images that you believe that we call memories. They rearrange these images or frames of reality, which will parade before you now. This is what Seth through Jane Roberts saying. And what you remember will seem to justify the beliefs. Wow. So your present beliefs, your present assumptions, they will structure these memories or these images that you believe are past. And these images or frames of reality will parade before you now. And what you remember will seem to justify whatever you're believing and assuming right now. Do you see it? You're creating it all right now. That's why Chris Calvin in Solaris says, I remembered her wrong. Somehow I was wrong about everything. You're wrong about everything when you're assuming or believing something that's not true of who you are, because now you're structuring those memories. You're rearranging reality. You're rearranging these frames that will then parade before you or support what you remembered. So what you remember will seem to justify those beliefs. If you believe and assume there are old patterns and assumptions and events to fix and heal and correct, then you will create those images and frames of reality right now. They will parade before you, and what you remember will justify all of those assumptions and beliefs. That you're broken, that there's something wrong with your life, that there's something wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with your life. You just need right now to know that and assume in this present moment who and what you desire to be. That's your point of power, right? So what's wrong with me in my life? Nothing. You are an infinite, multi-dimensional, infinite being or personality here to become and experience more of who you really are. So there's nothing wrong. You're just forgetting that. And you just need to become more aware of who you are. You can't get it, as Abraham Hicks says, or something like this. You can't get it wrong and you can't get it done, or you'll never get it done. What is Abraham Hicks and all of these past teachers saying, right? These teachers, you can't get it wrong. You can't get it done because you're an eternal being. You're here to create and re-experience reality in whatever way you choose. But that all happens from the portal, the eternal portal of now, through your assumptions and beliefs. You affect all lives, all realities, right? The question what is wrong with me, here's where Seth and Jane Roberts hits it, will only lead you to create further limitations and to reinforce those that you do have or that you believe you have, right? And through exaggerating such activities in the present and projecting them in the future. Do you see it? You're creating it now when you ask that question. Focusing on what's wrong, that less than 1% of reality you are perceiving as undesired, filters out 99.999% of who you really are. Hear it again. Focusing on what's wrong, on those patterns, on those things that you believe, those reactions, those patterns or reactions, or why you're reacting that way, or what's the pattern, or what's the trigger. Focusing on what's wrong, or that 0.0001% of reality you are perceiving as undesired. When you focus on that, it filters out 99.999% of who you really are. There are probable yous, probable events, probable realities that become invisible to you because you're focused on that less 1% that you believe there are triggers or reactions or patterns that are messing up your life, that there's something wrong with you. And so you miss out on that greater than 99.9% of events that who you really are. You're just having, it's a perception problem, right? You're remembering wrong. You're seeing it wrong. It's incomplete seeing, right? Wow, that's powerful. So other events, this is what Seth Jane Roberts says, other events, in other words, that 99.9% of unseen reality literally became invisible to you since past and future really become invisible. Other events, that 99.9% unseen reality, literally become invisible to you. Since past and future exists at once, you are at the same time constructing your future along the same lines. Do you see it? So they become invisible to you. So whatever you're focused on, you're recreating it. Which you, which world? That's what Seth asks. Right? All lives, all versions, all identities of you and realities exist simultaneously at once right now. Blaming the past, patterns, and past lives strips you of your power to consciously act in the present. Right? We blame the past or these past triggers or past events or patterns, and that's why we're reacting or that's why we're triggering. We're blaming these conditions that are just frozen frames. Right, that don't exist anymore outside of your attention to them, or even lives that we believe are past lives. When a psychic or someone tells you that you're affected by a past lives, now we believe we have no power to consciously act and believe and assume things in the present. Right? What you believe and assume right now in the present moment creates it all, period. There's no past life messing things up. It's through this present portal. This present portal of this eternal moment of now, which you assume affects all lives, all realities, all versions of you. You create it all. There's only one present moment for all realities, all identities, and all versions of you. Do you see it? That multidimensional you. There's only one present moment. All those versions of you are superimposed one over the other, but they're all living in the present moment now. So whatever you assume and decide right now affects all reality, all of you, all possibilities. There's only one present moment for all realities, all identities, all versions. That's powerful. So this is what Seth says in Jane Roberts about past lives, right? It's bad enough to believe that you are at the mercy of one past, but to consider yourself helpless before innumerable previous errors from other past lives puts you in an impossible situation. The conscious will is robbed of its power to act. And remember, free will is your divine gift. You're a perfect creation of God. It's impossible not to have free will. It's impossible to be at the mercy of either what you believe is your recent past or what you believe are past lives, something you did, some karma that you're paying for. There's no karma you're paying for. You get to decide what you assume and believe right now. That it's impossible as a son of God to be at the mercy of anything. You are source and there is no other. You are God and there is no other, right? All identities, all versions, and all personalities of you exist simultaneously as unique expressions of you, all interacting one with the other, but each conscious self, each version of you, each stream of consciousness possesses the point of power in the present. So each one has an independent power to choose. But all of them interact with each other. All of them are connected. So as you assume and believe, you're affecting all realities, even as these other versions of you are choosing independently. You're affecting all lives. You're affecting which one will you move to, which one will you experience, what part of all that is will you become aware of now? Because you're always on this ride of experiencing more of who you are. It's not a journey. The journey's over. You're already all that. It's about knowing yourself experientially, knowing what you know experientially in 3D reality, having that experience of it, right? You exist in all realities, but where you live, what you focus on, depends on the current event, on your current beliefs and assumptions. You exist everywhere and you will always exist. You are all that is. Let's be clear. You exist in all realities, all lives. Past, present, and future, all probable pasts, all probable presents, all probable futures. But where you live, where you focus on, that current experience, that current focus depends on what you're believing and assuming now. But it affects all lives. It affects where you're going to move to, what version of you you're going to see in the next moment, in the next moment, in the next moment. Wow! Your point of power is always now to manifest that dream life in that ideal reality. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, for joining our membership channel. If you've joined, thank you for joining. If you haven't, check it out. We just released a video a few days ago, big, powerful video. And we also have a live stream in 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks now, that's going to be exclusively broadcast on the membership channel. There's a link below if you're interested in checking it out. That's going to be available even after it goes live. If you don't get there, it's going to be on Sunday morning, September 24th, 2023 at 9 a.m. But if you can't make it, it's going to be available on the channel for you to view. The last one's there, and all the other live stream videos are there. In the last one, we were in about 50 minutes answering your questions. So send your questions to info@besomethingwonderful.com. I'm starting to go through them, starting to prepare for this live stream. Creators, with great love, with great light, and infinite gratitude, this is Tom with Be Something Wonderful. We'll see you soon.